What's going on, champs and champettes? It's FireMonkey here, and in today's YouTube video, we'll be talking about a lot of event-related spoilers for the Chapter 3 Season 2 end-of-season live event, which is none other than the Collision event. Now, something I do want to mention right away before we even start talking about spoilers is the background footage is not Fortnite. Instead, it's this newly released mobile game called Ni no Kuni Crossroads, I do believe, and the only reason I'm using it as background footage is because I was like, I'm kind of burnt out of Fortnite right now, I'm waiting for some more content to release, so I thought might as well switch it up to some gameplay of some games I'm playing. And just so you know, that was not sponsored. Anyways, with that said, let's get into all the information you should know, starting off with the gameplay tags that are already on screen. There's going to be two different set of gameplay tags that you're going to see, so two different images, and they'll slowly show up as time goes on in the video. However, something I wanted to mention is that I'm not going to be going through every single gameplay tag, being like, oh, there's this, and this. I decided to make an entire bullet-pointed list of the main topics I want to talk about in order from start to the event to the very end of the event, just so we can kind of get, an idea of my own thoughts relating to all the gameplay tags and leaks we currently have in regards to the live event, instead of just being like, oh yeah, there's this, oh yeah, in the middle of the event there might be this. So without further ado, let's quit our rambling and just start off by talking about the beginning of the event. For those who are unaware, IO's main goal with the whole entire Fortnite live event, that giant collider we've seen in the middle of the map, is basically trying to use that collider as a nuke in order to start off with a clean slate. They're like, alright, you know what, this war's gone crazy, we need a clean slate, we need to just get control back. That is the whole goal that the IO is trying to do, is regain control of this loop, their reality, whatever you want to call it, and they're going to try just nuking the entire reality off and just being like, alright, let's rebuild from here. Now, it appears that when we go to the actual live event, before we actually, before the countdown ends and we go through all the sequences, there will be a before, segment when we're in the lobby, waiting for the countdown, where we can fight some AI before the start of the event, which is most likely going to be like IO guards. So yeah, it's very interesting to see that we might actually be able to have another situation like we had with the Cube Queen live event, where we are able to still participate in something as we wait for the timer to go to 0. With that said, however, another thing I want to mention is that there is currently set to be a total of 7 phases. Now, the first phase is that pre-lobby section, so it's the part that is not even encrypted. We have a little bit of leaks for, but most of it's encrypted. Now, all the other phase names, the other 6, are pretty well encrypted to the point where they might be related to some gameplay cues and we might have their name, but Epic Games did a great job, and I've tried looking to see any places Epic Games might have messed up at, and it appears that all of those sequence names are practically encrypted right now so that we can't actually obtain them. But of course, even though those are encrypted, we still are able to get some news from the gameplay tags. But yeah, if you were curious, we're going to have around 7 phases of this live event. For comparison, for anyone curious when it comes to phases, the Skyfire live event had 5 phases, the Rift Tour live event had 15 phases, and the Codename Guava event, which was the end live event, had 7 phases. So we have a little bit more phases than we had in Operation Skyfire, and we have the exact same amount of phases as we had in the most recent The End live event. So just keep that in mind, we do have a pretty nice amount of phases that is on the higher scale of the different, scalings they've used in the past. But here's where it gets interesting. It appears we will have a part where we are on the Ice Moon. Now, for those who don't know, Epic Games has recently been giving teasers, leaving all this information out here regarding the fact that Paradigm was rebuilding the mech on an ice moon, and that's what it's literally called, the Ice Moon. Well, based on some gameplay tags, it appears we will be entering and exiting some sort of moon pod. There will be a moment of stasis, which is kind of like a moment of just stillness, where we're not really doing anything. It's more of a cinematic moment, but we will be having some parts in this live event where we are on the moon. And also, keep in mind, the moon is currently where the mech is located, and based on some hints, based on some information that's been posted by, Epic Games and just in leaks and all of that stuff, it appears that we might be the ones who are actually piloting the mech. So it makes sense for us to maybe either arrive to the space moon or leave from the ice moon, not space moon, using this mech in order to travel. And actually, there are some extra gameplay tags that might be related to that mech, because there's mentions of things being destroyed, such as missiles exploding and rocks just, getting destroyed, and it makes me highly speculate that since we have missiles, since we have rocks being destroyed, where could we find rocks? Maybe we're going from the Ice Moon to the main Fortnite island, so there might be be a sequence where we're traveling upwards and we have to actually shoot these asteroids in the sky in order just to make it to the main island. Now, it also appears that based on gameplay cues, there will be tanks, assault rifles, and some sort of laser that might be relating to that giant collider, or maybe the railgun. And then as our final little mention here for gameplay cues that might be related to items, we have a missile, which might be related to the mech having missiles, because I mean, it is the mech at the end of the day, or maybe it's trying to be like, this is the Anvil rocket launcher, something along those lines. But overall, assault rifles, lasers, tanks, and a missile is what you can kind of expect when we go into this live event. Overall, however, a lot of information is pretty well hidden this time around, but based on the file size and all the sequence information being almost like a gigabyte in size, it really makes it seem like this is going to be a pretty massive live event and might actually end up being one of the best events ever. However, on screen right now, you're seeing all those gameplay tags once again. Feel free to pause the video and comment down below your theories based on all those different tags and little code names and everything, what we might see during the Chapter 3 Season 2 end of season live event named The Collision. Anyways, with that said, my name's FireMonkey. If you enjoyed today's YouTube video and enjoyed getting a little bit more hyped up for a live event, consider subscribing to support the content I create, and I'll catch you guys later with another YouTube video. Peace out.